Good morning. Morning, Paul.
Morning, Richard.
I'm driving. Yes, I can drive.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I drive very well. Think you'll find. Well, you can drive if you want. We can pull over on the hard shoulder of the motorway and swap.
No, I don't think so.
We're driving out to the Chilterns, which is sort of, I don't know, what is it, an hour away, 45 minutes, something like that. We're going for a walk. And
the Chilterns?
In the Chilterns, and hoping to catch some beautiful autumn scenery. I'm sure it will be lovely because plenty of the trees we're passing now have got glorious colours. So just sitting down, having our little break. Paul's prepared some rice crackers. Are they rice or corn, Paul? Corn crackers, get it right.
Cakes,
corn cakes with Marmite. And a flask. Yeast extract. God.
Not branded.
And a flask of tea. So we're just having our little break here with this beautiful view. It's rather cloudy and misty.
It's very
hazy
grey.
and feeling quite cool as well. So we're glad that we wrapped up. And there are a few dog walkers out as well.
Yeah.
A few doggers. Yeah.
Most will be that as well.
Yeah. We're going to have our snack.
Lots of sheep.
Yeah.
Have you got the sheep?
Yes, I have.
Have you got the sheep down there?
Thank you.
Lots
Thank you,
of sheep
Paul.
down there.
Thank you. I'm going to show the viewers now.
Lots of sheep.
Shush now. God. So you've heard us mention the Chilterns on many occasions, and we visit here fairly regularly, although I think the last time we were here was early summer, late spring. So the Chilterns is a chalk landscape, and it's a ridge of hills which stretches, I don't know, through Buckinghamshire, right through to Wiltshire. And I'm not sure whether you can see, but there are cars whizzing along. That's the M40 motorway, which cuts through the Chiltern Hills. Just where this hill is that you can see jutting out, that's the start of the cutting where the cars go. But essentially, looking out along the landscape to Oxfordshire, which sort of meets Gloucestershire and Wiltshire, this is essentially a big valley, a plain, the Oxfordshire plain, I suppose, which stretches off into the distance. And if we're coming around this way, we're looking towards Gloucestershire and Wiltshire. And yeah, there is also an ancient roadway called the Ridgeway, which connects right through into Wiltshire. And it is actually this line that goes along. That is the Ridgeway. I think Britain's oldest roadway in inverted commas, so it would have been the superhighway of its time. So yeah, there you go, and I can never get enough of this view. I think it's spectacular, even on a misty, hazy day like today. It's stunning. I was just saying to Paul how nice it is to just sit here. We've been sat here for, I don't know, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Just sitting, looking at the landscape and just being in the landscape, being part of the landscape and watching the world go by. And it's not too cold, actually, it's just kind of okay.
Yeah, wrapped up enough.
And it's just very pleasant, just very pleasant. I think very often you're on the sort of go and you're walking and looking around as you walk, or falling over as I did earlier on acorns that provided a rolling platform for me. But it's just nice to sit and be. So this woodland is Cowleaze Woods, and we walk here quite often. We know the woodland quite well, but it's famous, well, infamous I suppose, for a memorial which sits in the woodland, and it's because a plane crashed here. I guess it was in the Second World War. Don't know the full reasons, can't quite remember, but yes, it's a lovely woodland, and it gets used quite a lot, although today we've hardly seen anybody at all. We have the woodland to ourselves virtually, but it is beautiful. A little uneven on the pathways, but yeah, it's a lovely walk. And they've done quite a lot of clearing recently and woodland management. We also noticed that the car park is going to be charging quite soon, because the Forestry Commission, or whatever they're called, have clearly been granted management of the woodland, because I think this is part of a private estate. I think it's part of the Ashridge estate or the Wormsley estate, I'm not sure. Yeah, but it is beautiful, so peaceful. Just spotted the memorial, so we're just going to walk up and pay our respects, so to speak. It's just up this little hill, you can see it just over there, and then we can find out more. There we go. In memory of the crew of 51 Squadron, Halifax, killed in action. On 31st of March 1944, the Halifax bomber crashed here, killing all 7 members of the crew. They'd been on a bombing raid in Nuremberg, East Germany. Tragic. Just sitting here having my tea, and there are parakeets in the garden. I don't know whether I can zoom in. Oh, yeah, I can. There we go. Ring-necked parakeets. Good afternoon, it's Saturday afternoon and the sun is out again, hurrah! We've had a couple of days of the grey blanket, which I talked about in Sunday Chat, which we recorded this morning, when the grey blanket lifted miraculously. And we have sunshine again, although it's not feeling particularly warm, it's feeling quite cool and kind of damp, you know. High humidity. Let's have a little look at the temperatures. Let me whiz you round. Let's have a look. So yeah, 16 degrees outside, 15 degrees inside, and 75% humidity. And the pressure is high. So at least things are staying calm. I'm just in the middle of uploading. I've just finished editing Sunday Chat. I'm uploading at the moment. It's taken me longer than usual because I accidentally recorded the whole show in 4K, which means everything seems to take a lot longer because the files are a lot larger. So, my mistake, how stupid. Let me just show you the ballerina tree in the garden. It's bright red, hold on. Doesn't really do it justice, but it's so beautiful. I'm afraid the garden's looking a little bit scruffy. It's desperate for a tidy up. There are spiders everywhere. There's a really big web, but you can't see it on camera. But yes, I really need to get out there. I just haven't had time. There's always something else to do, you know. There's always a video to make. There's always cookery videos to do. There's always editing to do. I just don't feel as though I've had any time to just get out there, but I will do. And I think it's going to be a fairly calm week. I've got a wash on though. I've just put it on a little bit late in the day to be doing washing. Just gone 4 o'clock, but it needs to be done. Not an awful lot to report really. We've got our friend coming over tomorrow for dinner. I'm going to do a sausage casserole and I'm going to do it with dumplings again. Because I loved those dumplings the other day. Delicious. So yeah, I'm going to do dinner tomorrow. I think a little bit of relaxation is in order. The week feels as though it was busy last week, and it did go in a flash. I've said that so many times now. But I think that is a sign that the week is full of stuff, full of activity, you know? I think if I was sitting there doing nothing every day, it would drag. But no, gone in a flash. Hey ho. So Paul's out at the plot. I'm in the middle of editing and uploading, so I better get back to that. So I will see you tomorrow. Morning. If it looks a bit weird, I'm on the wide angle lens. If I look like I'm on the back of a spoon. Anywho, morning. I'm in the kitchen, as you can see. And I'm cooking dinner for tonight. We've got a friend coming over and I'm doing a sausage and bean casserole stew. And I'm making dumplings again. Yeah, I am. I've already done the dumplings. They're in the fridge. So because we're not eating until 5:30, 6, something like that. So they can be put in later. But I've got a load of ingredients out and I'm going to throw it together. Literally throw it together. And as you can see, I've got 2 cameras set up so I can show you different angles. So what have I got? What have I got? Well, I've got my big saucepan, which is great for this kind of cooking. Over here, I've got stock, about half a pint, frozen broad beans and peas. I've got some Vimondo, which is Lidl's vegetarian Cumberland sausages, tomatoes, kidney beans, couple of onions, a big carrot, a sweet potato, red, green and yellow peppers, some mixed herbs and some potatoes. And there might be a few other things that get thrown into the mix as I go along. I've finished with these bits, but I can't put them in the dishwasher at the moment because it's on. So I'm going to have to do some washing up as I go. Yeah, there we are. Let's get washing stuff. I need to wash the vegetables. These peppers have seen better days. They're starting to go a little bit wrinkly, so I thought use them up. Use them up! Use what you've got before you buy fresh. Yeah, use the old dying vegetables first. Why am I in such a jovial mood? I have no idea. Get on, Richard, get on. Right, let's get a bit of water in there. Those are for lunch, those tortilla wraps. It's a dull morning. Very dull. I hope it brightens up. That'll do. Okay. And I usually use this area to sort of chop stuff. So let me just give that quick wipe. Oh, okay, that's the peppers done. Cook's treat. Tasty carrot. Oh. Lovely. I always remember my grandma, when I used to be in the kitchen with her, she would say, I don't want any potato eyes looking at me. You've got to remember that the peel contains a lot of nutrients. Why would you throw that away if you didn't have to? Okay, let's pop the heat on. I've got some olive oil in there. One of the onions. Let's do another. Roughly chopped. I'm going to take this shirt off. I'm getting so warm now. Oh, those onions are strong. I'm going to throw in a good pinch of mixed herbs. And some black pepper, as usual, good amount. Lovely. Oh, that's a nice smell. Onions, herbs and black pepper. I mean, I could just eat that now. Oh. Let's throw in the carrots and the sweet potato. Lovely colour. Turn the heat up a little bit. Ready for the frozen things. Throw in the peppers. Already that's just a pan of joy. It really is. All those lovely colours. And turn my heat down a bit. And then I just need to cut up my potatoes and throw them in into fairly nice bite-sized chunks. Give those a good stir. Let's add the stock. Give it a stir first. Always remember that your vegetables give up liquid as well during the cooking. And of course that all depends on whether you actually cover the dish. If you cover it, you keep the liquid in. If you want to reduce, leave the lid off. Right, tomatoes. Need to increase the heat a little bit as well. Just to bring it up to the boil. And then I'm going to rinse the tin, about half the tin of water. With a dish like this, what we need is enough liquid to cook the hard vegetables, the root vegetables, the carrots and the potatoes, and the sweet potatoes. So that's why I'm just making sure everything is immersed. I'm going to bring that back up to the boil. Just making sure those carrots are all separated because they have a tendency to sort of cling together when you slice them like that. See how attractive the chunky vegetables look? I just think it's lovely. So once that's come up to the boil, I'm going to turn the heat down, let it simmer, and we're just going to let it simmer for about 15 minutes or so with the lid on. But Richard, I hear you say, what about the sausages? Well, what I'm going to do is cook them first, probably under the grill. I might fry them, I don't know. Get them nice and golden brown, slice them up and put them into the stew. If I were to put them in raw, they would have a tendency probably to swell up and maybe fall apart, and I don't really want that. So I want to put them in once this initial 15-minute cook has happened. Kidney beans, I will also put them in later, probably at the same time, because they just need to be heated through. And then when it gets to 4:45 tonight, because we're going to eat around 5:30, about 4:45, I will reheat gently to a simmer, and then the dumplings will go in at 5 o'clock. That's how I'm going to manage it. Yeah, easy. Okay, so my sausages are well cooked, nice and brown. I've turned the casserole off because I don't want it to overcook. The easiest way to do this is with a knife and fork. I'm just going to cut each one into 3 pieces. Look how good those look. I'm so tempted to have a piece now, but nope. God, they look good. So like I said before, these are the Vimondo range from Lidl, which we think are pretty good. If you like a sort of meat experience as a vegetarian, which we do, you know, we spent many years eating meat. We don't agree with the industry now. And we don't agree with eating animal flesh. So that's why we're vegetarian. Okay. Great. And all I'm going to do is just pop them in. I'm not immersing them, I'm just leaving them like that. They can just sit there. I'm going to put the lid on, and then later, as I said before, I will bring it up to heat, bring it up to a simmer, and I'll add the dumplings about, I don't know, half an hour before. Oh, beans. Forgot to add the beans. I'm just going to do the same with the beans. Sprinkle them over the top, because again, beans can fall apart. If you start stirring them and cooking them and cooking them, they kind of lose their integrity. So I'm going to leave this simply like that. Pop the lid on, and that's dinner made virtually. So there we are, dinner done, virtually, almost ready. Now today, all I've got to do is a few bits of housework. I did a wash yesterday. I should really go out to the garden, but not motivated enough to do that. So I think just some vacuuming and dusting for the rest of the day, and then our friend over for dinner tonight. So I think that's enough for me. So I'll say ta-ra for now. I think I said earlier that I was going to have a relax. Well, it's now 5:15 and I haven't relaxed, haven't really sat down. I made a Manor House Cake as well. That's in the oven. But I need to pay attention to the stew, to the casserole. I've stirred in the sausages and the beans, and I'm just bringing it back up to temperature because I need it to come to the boil so it can simmer for a good half hour with these little babies in it. So my cake's got 2 minutes. I'm just waiting for that. Oh, yeah, it's been an active day. Let's put it that way. And I've tidied around and prepared the room for our guest. I like to make it look tidy if somebody's coming, and put some colours on, some coloured lights. I've also had the dehumidifier on as well, just to remove any excess moisture from the air. Just makes it feel a bit more comfortable. So yeah, busy afternoon. So there's the Manor House Cake, just out of the oven, looking good. This time I've used wholemeal rye flour, so it'll be interesting to see how that tastes. But it looks exactly how it did before, that lovely cracked surface. So yeah, pleased. Okay, this is boiling away nicely now, so I'm going to make sure that everything is pressed down, because I need those potatoes to cook and those carrots. And I need to pop in the dumplings. Okay, let's pop them in. Half submerged. They have to be half submerged in the liquid. That's good. Now I'm going to pop the lid on and let those cook. Separate those a little bit. That's it. And let those cook for about half an hour or so on a low simmer. And that should also cook everything else beautifully. I know I didn't feature us eating the stew, the casserole last night. I do apologise, but we kind of got swept up in the moment, and before you know it, we've eaten it. And I didn't even think about filming. But we're having leftovers for lunch. So what I've done is heated up the remainder, added half a tin of chili beans and a tin of baked beans, and I'm going to do some bread and butter. Well, bread and flora spread, because that's what we have. And that's our lunch, a substantial lunch. So that means this evening we can just have something light. Yeah. So I'm waiting for that to heat up. Paul's on the phone to Vanessa at the moment. So I'm going to do some bread. This morning, got up late again. I know what's going on. I woke up early, went to the loo, and then kind of dozed back to sleep. Ended up feeling really tired because of it, so getting up early actually suits me better. Anywho, I've been editing this morning, getting this vlog sorted. It's a very grey morning again. The grey blanket is back. Yeah, and it's feeling cool. We actually had our little electric heater on last night in the front room when we were watching TV, because it was really, yeah, it's starting to feel cool, much cooler. I've been doing a little bit of photography this morning. We've got some quince that has been gifted to us, and I thought they looked really pretty, so I took photos, which you probably have seen by now on social media. So I'm going to get on with this now. I can't wait to eat. I'm hungry. It is nearly 1:20. So yeah, I'll see you later. Good afternoon. It is Tuesday afternoon. It's about 12:30. Had a busy morning doing housework. Put a wash on, did my cleaning cloths and my tea towels, cleaned the loos, cleaned the sinks, cleaned the kitchen sink, which is an almost daily occurrence, especially if Paul has been let loose in the kitchen. What else? Paul went out. He had to go down to Ealing Broadway, which is the sort of main centre of Ealing. He had to go to the bank for some business thing. So when he got back, I made sure there was coffee and cake waiting for him. It's looking very autumnal, very grey still outside, but everything has a sort of slightly golden glow about it. There's not much to report. It's a bit of a domesticated morning, really. Tidying, just doing what I do. I'm probably going to be cooking dinner tonight, so I'm not too sure what we're going to have, but whatever I make will be made from scratch as usual, and I'll film it, probably for Thursday's cookery video. Not a lot to report. It's just an ordinary day. I'll see you later. Morning, Wednesday, very dull, feeling cool, very uninspiring out there, it really is, and a little bit breezy too. So what am I up to today? Well, after I've filmed this little segment, I'm going to be going upstairs because I need to do 2 edits. I need to edit this and I need to edit new cookery video, which is going to go out tomorrow. So yeah, it's going to be an editing morning. And then I'm going to treat myself to a lovely bath and a hair wash because I'm a little bit overdue. I am. I've just not had time to have a bath. I've had to make do with washes. So I really need a good bath. I'm just about to do a little tidy up in here. Not that it really needs it, but just a little mini reset. Bird. Been quite a few birds recently in the garden, which is quite interesting, seeing as during the summer we hardly saw any at all. I think the cats are staying indoors a lot more often with the cooler weather. So yeah, nothing else to report. Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to conclude this week's vlog now, and I'll see you on Friday for the live show. Yeah, take care of yourselves. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.